Hey there, thanks for coming back to our channel. Today we're diving into something super interesting, supreme nirvana. In Buddhism, nirvana is all about finding that perfect peace and deep happiness, right? It's like the ultimate goal for anyone on a spiritual journey. Imagine finally letting go of all that stress and negativity. Nirvana means completely stopping suffering and extinguishing the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion. It's about breaking free from that endless cycle of death and rebirth, which can feel like a heavy burden. Pretty profound, don't you think? This state, often referred to as supreme nirvana, is the culmination of enlightenment, though its truly ineffable nature makes it fundamentally difficult to capture or fully describe with conventional language. Nirvana is a state of profound enlightenment, a realization of ultimate reality that transcends ordinary human experience. Because it lies beyond the concepts and categories of our everyday minds, any attempt to define it is bound to be incomplete. It is not a place but a state of being, not an acquisition but a letting go. To understand its key aspects is to approach the edge of this profound mystery and glimpse the freedom it represents. A central aspect of nirvana is the extinguishment of suffering. The word itself, nirvana in Sanskrit or nibbana in Pali, translates to blowing out or quenching. What is being quenched are the three fires that fuel our discontent and keep us bound to suffering: the fire of desire and attachment, the fire of aversion and hatred, and the fire of ignorance and delusion. When these fires are completely extinguished, the root cause of suffering, known as dukkha, is eradicated, leading to a state of unshakable peace. Furthermore, nirvana signifies liberation from samsara. Samsara is the endless cyclical journey of birth, death, and rebirth, driven by karma and perpetuated by the very ignorance and cravings that nirvana extinguishes. To attain nirvana is to step off this wheel of suffering, breaking free from the repetitive patterns of existence that are inherently marked by impermanence and dissatisfaction. This liberation is not an escape from life, but a transcendence of the conditions that define conditioned existence. At its heart, nirvana is the ultimate goal of enlightenment, a state characterized by profound peace, unconditioned contentment, and a state of pure, luminous awareness. It is a mind untroubled by the fluctuations of fortune, free from the push and pull of craving and aversion. This is not a state of blissful apathy, but one of vibrant, wakeful presence, where reality is seen exactly as it is, without distortion or projection. It is crucial to understand that nirvana is not a physical place such as a heavenly realm or a paradise. Unlike concepts of an afterlife in other traditions, it is not a destination one travels to after death. Instead, it is a state of mind and being that can be realized right here and now, within this very life. It is the purification of consciousness itself, a transformation of one's entire way of experiencing the world. Perhaps the most challenging aspect to grasp is that nirvana is a state beyond description. Because it represents the cessation of all conditioned phenomena, it cannot be fully captured by the thinking mind or articulated in words, which are themselves conditioned tools. The Buddha often used metaphors, describing it as the further shore, the unconditioned, or the deathless. It is the absence of suffering, the end of becoming, and as such, it can only truly be known through direct experience, not through intellectual understanding alone. The attainment of nirvana is not a matter of chance or divine grace, but the result of diligent, methodical practice. The Buddha laid out a clear and practical guide for this journey, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path provides a comprehensive framework for developing the wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline necessary to see reality clearly and thereby bring about the cessation of suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path is the practical application of the Buddha's teachings designed to systematically uproot the causes of suffering. It is through following this path that a practitioner works to eradicate the three poisons: greed, raga, hatred, dvesha, and delusion, avidya. These deep-seated mental defilements are considered the root causes that bind beings to the cycle of samsara. Greed manifests as craving, attachment, and insatiable desire. Hatred appears as anger, aversion, and ill will. Delusion, or ignorance, is the fundamental misunderstanding of the true nature of reality. The practice of the path involves a profound shift in understanding. It is not merely about following rules, but about cultivating a deep, experiential insight into the nature of mind and all phenomena. This includes realizing the core Buddhist truths of impermanence, anicca, the inherent unsatisfactoriness of conditioned existence, dukkha, and the absence of a permanent, independent self, anatta. Through mindfulness and meditation, we start to realize that everything around us is totally connected and always changing, right? It's like watching a river flow. Nothing stays the same for long. Our suffering often comes from holding on too tightly to things, thinking they'll last forever when really they're just passing moments. Think about it. How often do we cling to a job, a relationship, or even our own expectations? That's where the struggle kicks in. This direct seeing cuts through the root of delusion and liberates the mind. Within the vast landscape of Buddhist thought, the concept of nirvana is understood with subtle yet significant differences across various traditions, particularly between the Theravada and Mahayana schools. These interpretations shape the ultimate aim and expression of the spiritual path for their followers. In the Theravada tradition, which adheres closely to the earliest scriptures, nirvana is unequivocally the ultimate goal. It is achieved by an individual who, through their own efforts in following the Noble Eightfold Path, becomes an arahat, an enlightened being who has eradicated all defilements and will not be reborn after their final death. For the arahat, the attainment of nirvana signifies the complete and final liberation from personal suffering and the cycle of samsara. This state, often referred to as the full attainment of personal peace, is the culmination of the path. The Mahayana tradition, however, introduces a different ideal, the bodhisattva. While the Mahayana schools also recognize the state of nirvana as the cessation of personal suffering, it is not considered the final and ultimate expression of full enlightenment. The focus shifts from individual liberation to universal compassion. Those who take up the path of the bodhisattva, in fact, make a profound vow to forgo their own entrance into the state of ultimate cessation. They choose instead to be continually reborn into the world of suffering, so long as other beings remain trapped in samsara. The bodhisattva's mission is to offer support, guidance, and compassion to all sentient beings, dedicating their existence to helping everyone else attain enlightenment and nirvana, rather than securing it for themselves alone. The term nirvana was used by the historical Buddha in his very first teaching after attaining enlightenment, the sermon known as Setting in Motion the Wheel of the Dharma. In this foundational discourse, the third noble truth, the truth of the cessation of suffering, is a direct reference to the ultimate cessation of all mental and physical suffering, also known as dukkha. This cessation is nirvana itself. Across different traditions, the path to nirvana is sometimes viewed as a gradual process, achieved through diligent and sustained spiritual practice over many lifetimes. For others, particularly in traditions like Zen, enlightenment can be attained in a sudden flash of insight, a moment of profound awakening. In any case, one's practice is undertaken with the explicit purpose of breaking free from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. Nirvana is like the ultimate chill zone where suffering just doesn't exist. Imagine a state of pure peace, totally free from all those annoying feelings of attachment, aversion, and ignorance that usually mess with our heads. It's like that final, unshakable freedom for your heart and mind, you know? Picture this, being completely liberated from all the chaos of everyday life, like a breath of fresh air after being stuck in a stuffy room. Sounds amazing, right? Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's spread the good vibes.